Happy Halloween and welcome to our last day here for our 31 Nights of Horror. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the infamous film Martyrs.
In 1971, a young girl named Lucy escapes a slaughterhouse, starved, scarred, and broken. No one believes her story of torture. Only Anna, another orphan, stays by her side. But something follows Lucy, a screaming, disfigured ghost that tears at her flesh and mind. 15 years later, Lucy finds the people she thinks ruined her life, a normal suburban family. Breakfast table, sunshine, and smiles. And Lucy walks in with a shotgun. After the massacre, Anna arrives, and she sees the truth unravel in blood and guilt. Lucy isn't haunted by a ghost. She's haunted by the woman she didn't save. And when that guilt finally consumes her, she cuts her own throat, ending one horror and beginning another. Downstairs, Anna finds a door. Behind it, proof that Lucy wasn't mad. A steel blindfold, photographs of agony, and a woman skinned and kept alive. A secret society arrives led by Mademoiselle. Their mission? To create martyrs. To torture people until they glimpse the afterlife. Anna becomes their masterpiece. Beaten, flayed, broken. Until her eyes stare past the pain into something divine. She whispers what she saw to Mademoiselle. And Mademoiselle, trembling with revelation, blows her brains out. Because some of the truths about the afterlife aren't meant for the living.
I had only recently saw Martyrs probably a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And I'd heard many times from different lists that when it comes to like disturbing films, this was kind of always on there. One day, one afternoon, I had the day off from work and I decided I'm going to check out Martyrs. I'll tell you, I was surprised, shocked, horrified, pleasantly surprised. I really loved this movie. And again, this is another one of those French extreme horror, body horror, psychological drama type of films. It's sad, violent, very, very, very violent. I was surprised on the journey it takes me on into what eventually we see the reasoning behind all of this violence. It's sickening. I wholeheartedly believe that there are people out there doing things like this. Treating people like animals, treating people like guinea pigs, all for their amusement, all for their self-righteous enlightenment. For whatever reason, they think they're serving a greater purpose because humans suck sometimes. The movie opens with a shocking display of a horrific murder, but there's a sense where you're thinking like, was this murder justified? Was this senseless? I don't know, because we don't know the character entirely too well, and you don't know where her mind's at, because initially when she comes back initially we're following Lucy, who is returning to a home that she believes she escaped from, and the people that are in the home, the family, were involved in her torture that she experienced for many, many years. And now that she's back to seek that vengeance, or to at least have some closure from all the trauma that she's going through. We don't exactly know if it's like for real, or maybe she made a mistake, or what. We're just kind of on this journey with her because the movie opens and it is shocking to see her just murder this entire family, adults and children alike. And again, in a very brutal way. Like, she has no mercy for any of them. Even though she's tormented by what she's doing, she does it anyways. And you can see the pain whenever she's actually killing these people. There's a point where she kind of is, in a way, doubting herself, but she goes through it with it anyways. And then we're left to think, the audience, us, myself specifically, left to think, was this real? Is this just all in her head? Then her friend Anna shows up and she kind of relays whatever happened. And her friend is kind of like really trying to support her and not just, I guess, draw too many conclusions, because at some point or another, the trauma is just too much for Lucy and she ends her life. And Anna, unfortunately, goes a little further than she needs to. And as I was watching this, I was like telling myself, like, just go, just leave, don't ever come back. And she goes further into the house where she finds kind of like almost like this underground compound, and she finds persons there still in like that are tied up. And then these people arrive who take Anna and then kidnap her, and then she becomes the subject of torture. And it's just very ongoing. It's very painful. It's very sickening to see how and what she's going to see what she's going through. The violence, though very disgusting and horrific. I was wondering and kind of curious to see what exactly is going to continue on, because it can't just be about violence. Because if it is, this movie would just fall apart entirely. And then we see that the Mademoiselle, who's in charge of all these elite-looking people, are creating martyrs to see and I guess feed their desire to see what's on the other side. And in their mind, they're doing some really revelatory stuff because they're sick and they don't mind torturing someone for quote unquote the greater good. And at some point or another, whenever Anna finally seems to reach a certain transcendental kind of euphoric state, they ask her what is she seeing on the other side, and we don't ever find that out. And there is a part of me that really wants to find out what she's seeing on the other side, because I mean, it's just a curiosity I think most people have. We don't ever find that out. The only person who knows is whatever Anna is speaking, and whatever the Mademoiselle hears whenever she whispers it to her. This is what leaves, I feel like, left me wondering. I'd like this ambiguous ending, but I would imagine it would upset people because it may seem lazy, but I feel like any definitive answer would disappoint everyone, or at least split people in half, even more than or so than they are right now with the ending of this film. Mademoiselle's answer for everyone whenever they want to know, and they want to know what Anna said, and she looks kind of shocked in a way, Mademoiselle, and she gets a gun and tells them to keep doubting, and boom, takes herself out. And that's pretty much where the movie ends. And I love this movie. I really loved it, which kind of made me want to seek a lot more films in this French extreme horror genre, which is why I really like Megalomaniac too. There's a certain, it's not so easily determined whether or not I like the film or I don't like the film. And because the subject matter is can go so far, I would imagine most folks would say that don't even bother watching those types of films because they're just disgusting, which they are. But there is a beauty in some of these films and the way they're being made. I'm new to the genre, to going to this particular French extreme horror genre. And so far, so good. I mean, I like what I see because it doesn't seem so they're not films that are one dimensional. Like, there's a lot of layers to these films. I feel that these films are worth more looking into with an analytical eye, more so than I have. I think in this 31 Nights of Horror, I wanted to represent the more lighthearted versions of horror. And then as we went to the further end of the extreme. Now, is this the furthest end of the extreme? No. I mean, things go a lot further. There are films I've never seen before. And if you know of anyone or any film that is available to watch, let me know. I will give it a chance. I feel like I've only touched a very superficial surface when it comes to horror films that I love. Don't get me wrong, I love those, but I want to go a little deeper. However disgusting or depraved they may be, I would like to see them for myself and determine whether or not they have any merit as far as quality or art, because obviously that is very subjective and that would be my own opinion. But these are the types of films that I don't 100% recommend to people. But if you are able to watch or you're willing to go on a journey and see where it takes you, then by all means, definitely check out Martyrs. This is definitely in one of those like top 10 films for me over the past like decade or so. It just moved in right away. Once I saw it, I just fell in love with it. So I don't know what that says about me, but hey, whatever. I appreciate you taking this month-long journey with me on these 31 Nights of Horror. Granted, I didn't get to every single movie, but it was a nice exercise in attempting to see all these movies in the kind of like real time and putting out these reviews. Unfortunately, I got sick. Work schedules threw me off, and I didn't get to a few of them that I really wanted to. But now we can take those films and put them into long form podcasts for everyone to see. And there's some that, unfortunately, like since I didn't get to, some of my other co-hosts are excited to take those on because they wanted to get to it. Unfortunately, with their schedule and everyone else's, things are just, they don't work out as they wish they would. But at least we can take the time to delve into those a bit further. Again, thank you for watching and going on this journey. It was rough, and hopefully next year I'll either embrace the 31 Nights of Horror again or abandon it altogether. Who knows? Because it was very exhausting. But if you keep watching, we will keep putting stuff out. If you keep listening, we'll put them out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those other podcast platforms. And you can see them here on YouTube as well, all of our backlog. And again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. And have a safe and happy Halloween.